We shipped it a year ago. But we have about less than a month, we have some new things coming out that are AI driven in the product experience that are going to be really cool. I don't think they'll be live by Shop Talk, but shortly after. So our journey with generative AI started 2 years ago. And this is, I think, was when ChatGPT was starting to take off. And there was like this spawning of whether it's Anthropic or at the time, I think it was called Google Bard. There was this wave of like, hey, LLMs are very powerful. And then we started to get to the situation where it just wasn't just like text-to-text LLMs. They started to be like multimodal models. And no one was really using them in customer-facing context outside of customer service. Internally, we were seeing this technology, and the push really came from James, our CEO. He had that vision of this is the future. We have to figure out what it means for resale. If we don't, someone could, and we could be left behind. So what we did was we got our strongest engineers, data scientists, and product designers all together on this team. We basically said, you do not have to worry about the business in terms of performance or anything like that. We are going to spend a month like deeply exploring this technology and thinking through how it could be most beneficial for ThredUp. And we did a bunch of prototyping. We did a lot of exploration, a lot of whiteboarding. And at the time, what we found was this notion of natural language and search and what we call internally visual search terms. It was hard to find what you're looking for unless you were like searching for a brand, a category, like very traditional taxonomy-based terms. Of course, our search worked well, but everyone's search works well when you say exactly what's in the database. But if you were saying like, hey, I want to search for cottagecore, I want to search for St. Patrick's Day, ugly Christmas sweater, none of those things are in our database. We don't have a human that knows what cottagecore is versus some other trend that is very new or very localized. But models do, which is crazy. We found that even these invented styles, like the one we talked about jokingly called mermaidcore, to our knowledge, is not a real thing, but the model could actually turn it into a real thing. And you search for it and you'd find swimwear that had scales and dresses that looked iridescent. It was crazy. All of us were mind blown by this. And we're like, okay, but is there a customer job to be done here? This is one of those rare situations where, yes, there was a job to be done. The customer was not ready for it. The customers were not really having crazy diversity of search terms. Nowhere else were people using this technology in fashion. And so we were like, okay, we are going to skate to where the puck is going to be in the future and hope that we can help educate the customer to get there, or they will get there on their own.
Without it hallucinating its way through. Right?
So
making up things. Yeah.
Yeah. And we are a public company, but we very much operate like a private startup. We are very risk tolerant and we move very fast. We did a month of prototyping and we're like, we think this is the way forward. We think this is going to be really powerful. Having it in production was then a matter of weeks. The use cases are really powerful. One of the things that's beneficial of having 5 million snowflakes is that we have something for everything. We can match any style. We can match any trend because we just have that ocean of inventory. But we had to create sophisticated technology to route out all the use cases. Some things are not visual. If you search for a brand, a material, a visual model is not going to pick up that this is 50% polyester. But if it doesn't have the logo, how does the visual technology know what the brand is? And so then we had to merge the best of traditional search with this new visual search. We did that. This was the initial catalyst for us because we were loving it internally. Most of the employees at ThredUp are women. Our customers are basically 100% women. And people were just like loving this internally and they couldn't wait for it to get to customers.